And now who's playing a role here? It is a group of people, a group of splinter groups who have joined up and made a Hurriyat conference. They have got in between, so the dialogues got thwarted. So every time Pakistan should take responsibility of talking and engaging with India directly than to bring anybody else in the picture. So the Kashmir is India's problem, and India will solve it the way it knows it has to solve. With the people of India, with the consent of the people of India, this problem will be solved. And there has to be no way that they go and listen to anybody else on this matter. So it's very important that we have peace. We have a lot of opportunities for them. For example, the farmers in the Punjab part of Pakistan, they buy the potato seeds and they import from Netherlands, which is 4 times costlier than what it is in the Indian part of Punjab. But if there is a collaboration between them, so these things could be bought. India could supply them the potato seeds and for them to get seeds at a lower cost. So Pakistan should stop spending money on defense and start working on the people. They should use this money to reduce the poverty of the nation. Of course, not that we are a rich nation, but I'm telling you, Pakistan has its own issues, and they have to sort this out by reducing their defense budget and allocating the same budget for their people, for the growth of their people, for the growth of the community, to create more employment and to open schools, maybe spend some money on on telling people that, well, India is a great country, and they should have a campaign where they come up, they spend some money and allocate a budget for, say, India is a great country kind of a campaign. So I think people need to know that. There are a lot of people who don't know. There is a lot of media that is showing this, showing a bad picture of India only for the people of the country to keep voting against India and their defense budgets to keep raising. So we are ready to help, we are ready to talk. And you see, when it comes to also the people-to-people connect, the governments of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan also has to take an initiative in inviting India. They have to invite on a red carpet, to the OIC, which is the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation, a body of the United Nations, formed for the interests of various Islamic and Muslims of the world. So I think we had in 1969 gone to Rabat during the first conference when India was invited by the community, but due to Pakistan's interference and their need of wanting to have a say, in the issue of Kashmir, India came out and since then has not gone. So therefore, there should not be any condition for the Indian Muslims to be, to be on the OIC and to raise their voice on the behalf of the community of in the country. You see, more so because there has to be a voice of the lion in the jungle. You have just created a big jungle there, and there is no lion, and India is the lion. And we have to be, the lions have to be in the jungle to have the say of the Muslim community. And you can see the change when India comes onto the OIC, how the voice of a global Muslim would take, would go forward, and how it would raise. And the Indian Muslim voice, with its concept of tolerance and patience, can add a great deal to what is happening at the OIC at this time. So India should be on the OIC, and invitation has to be done from Pakistan. So this is one of the very important things that Pakistan has to do and engage itself in doing this with India. And finally, the bottom line is Pakistan has to accept that India's leadership and India's greatness is something that they have to accept, and it is the big brother of India that needs to be with you, and Big Brother is there to support you, and Big Brother is there to help you in any way you want, to make you stronger, and to be jointly cooperative and fight against everything else that needs to be. We can fight together against terrorism, we can fight together against unemployment, we can fight together against poverty, we can help you. I mean, it's not a great help that it can happen to us because you are a 1/10 of the population of the whole country, but yes, we would like that you are strong. We would like that all the neighbors are strong for us to be strong. So we want to see that we take this forward, and a dialogue that has to have, and it should start from people to people, and people from both these countries should come together. We have a great leader in taking this step forward, and the government of Pakistan also has, I think the leader in Nawaz Sharif is definitely having a positive attitude towards this issue, because he was the same who had dealt with the Vajpayee government as well. So he knows, and we just hope that the that the so-called, the ISI of Pakistan does not, thwart this whole process of peace, which has been happening every time. And I think it's in the interest of both the countries, the nations of both, the children, the generations to come, that are going to enjoy peace and prosperity for both the nations and for the subcontinent. So this is what we have to say.
When you can make a wish, how do you see this within 5 or 10 years, or maybe earlier?
Well, in the next 10 years, in the next decade, we are going to be facing a lot of challenges. You see, because yesterday, I think, day before yesterday, there was a CIA report which said that Pakistan is the most dangerous country to be with, and they are building a nuclear arsenal, and there is a lot of unemployment, and there is poverty. So you see, it is going to go down, and India is going to go up. India is going to go ahead. So there is going to be a lot of difference, and it is in the interest of our neighbors, for us, that that they should do well, because if they don't do well, you see, they don't have a foreign policy. Their only policy is that they have to bomb New Delhi. There is no other policy that they have. Like India has its own sophisticated diplomatic policy, they don't have a policy. So they can just damage a lot, and that damage is not going to be any good to anybody. It's a different thing that India will react in its own way. I hope they do. And if they do that, you see, we have to take some action against Pakistan if the situation arises. So we have to start with an option one. Let us adapt an Akbar policy of the Indian Mughal Empire, of engaging them and of talking to them. You see, Akbar, during the reign of the Mewar, the region of Mewar, did not accept his supremacy. And then he spoke to them once, he spoke to them twice, and the third time he attacked them. He massacred 30,000 people, and that was when he established the fort of Chittorgarh. So, I mean, if this is the policy that has to be adopted by India, well, I don't know if it has to be done, but it can happen with a strong leadership that has to come over times to come, because too much of patience and tolerance is good, but at some point, we have to put our foot down. And we Muslims and the Muslim leadership of this country should see that we are a prosperous nation, and we should be ready to do anything for this nation. Our heart should bleed for India, and our heart should beat for India, and anything that comes in the interests of India should be thwarted upon and should be challenged and encountered.
We always say that young people has the future. Are you agree with that?
Absolutely. India is the youngest nation. With I think by 2020 we are going to have 65% of the population who is going to be under 25. So we are a young nation, and we are absolutely a wonderful country, to grow in the future, and we are not far from being a world power.
Can you give them a last advice from your point of view, how they can proceed?
Well, the youth in this
peace?
country, especially the Muslim youth in this country, should engage and should listen to a leadership that takes them to the growth of the nation, and they have to work towards India being a superpower. They have to work towards this country of India to be harmoniously joined together and be together and fight against everybody, whether it could be anybody. They have to fight, they have to stand up against a fundamentalist belief, whether it is of the Hindutva or whether it is of the Islamic fundamentalism or any kind of fundamentalism that takes them away from this whole doctrine of growth and development. And I think we only have to think of growth and development like how China did. China has 56 different sects, but they just have a common Han belief, the Han sect that runs the whole of the country. So I think Indians can just join and be under a single umbrella of India as a single nation, than to worry about which region and which caste and which creed. And the Uniform Civil Code that is we are very optimistic that it should be implemented very soon by the current regime, to see that all people come under a single legal code of this country.
Mr. Asif, thank you very much for a very open conversation.
Thank you so much.
I've learned also a bit more of the history about it, and I will keep it in my mind, and I will also do my best to do that. Mr. Asif, at the end, I want to thank you for this very open conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Harry.